and welcome to Match Connect Me. Earlier this year, we expected to meet you all live here in Amsterdam. Unfortunately, that is not possible, especially because Matchstrade has been cancelled. Still, we would like to interact and connect with you.
That's why we decided to bring Match to you. Today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Each day we bring 2 online sessions, one at 11 and one at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. My name is Dionne van Mullen.
And my name is Marianne Groes. We are your hosts for all online sessions of Match Connect Me.
Is the title of our second online session. We're standing here with the presenter of this session, Hans Populier. Hello Hans. Field of vision. That sounds pretty far-sighted, but can we expect?
Thank you, Dionne. Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting afternoon today. So we are going to talk about all the new exciting products we are going to develop this year and the last 12 months. We're going to talk about roadmap of our products. We're going to talk about the roadmaps of our sister brands all over the world, and just a general idea of where Mastervolt is going with the development of products.
That sounds interesting.
Thank you, Hans. We will see you in a bit.
Thank you.
Before we start with the next online session, a little explanation is in order. If you look at your screen, on the right, you can see the Q&A. There you can fill in all of your questions, and after the sessions, our experts will be ready to answer them.
But first we go to... This is Brain Trainer, presenting an amusing question that will make your brain crack. In this episode, we would like to draw your attention to the KNRM, the Royal Dutch Sea Rescue Institution. This is an enterprising association with mainly volunteers that operate 42 rescue stations in the Netherlands. These brave rescues save many people from drowning.
And Mastervolt go back a long way. Not only do we support them with a lifetime service agreement, we also participate in Captain of Sails, a yearly fundraising event in which we battle with more than 80 teams for the title Captain of Sails.
And the question this afternoon is, how much money did we raise in 2018? Send in your answer as detailed as possible. The one who's closest will win a digital Match Connect Me surprise.
And now we hand over the mic to the man who knows everything about field of vision, Hans Populier.
Thank you, ladies. Let's get started immediately. Before we start, I want to introduce Eric Swallow. He's doing the presentation together with me. He is present here today. And we have Matt Elsner in America, and he's going to talk about the Americas a little bit later today. Before we get started, I want to ask you people to use the app, the online platform, to ask as many questions as you can. In the previous session, we only had 10 questions, and for this session, I expect at least 25 questions to be asked. Let's get started. First topic, before we get started and go in details, a little thought from my side. I've been doing the Match now for 20 years. The first couple of years behind the screens, helping the organization, and the last 10 to 15 years in front of the screens, telling you guys all the nice and new stuff we are going to do every year. And what I noticed is a couple of things, is that what we tell is different every year, but the outcome of what we tell is also different every year. So we start with a very large roadmap with very nice ideas, and going the year, this will change. I think that the only constant in life is actually change. There is one thing that absolutely doesn't change, and that is the weather in Amsterdam. So as usually, it's gray, it's dull, and it is raining. So luckily, you people are all at home. So I hope you all enjoy the presentation for today. The big change for Mastervolt the last 12 months, beside COVID, is the fact that we are part of Brunswick and ASG. And my personal feeling, but I also think the feeling of the company, is that that fits us very well. So Brunswick is very much focused on the customer needs, on product innovation, on collaboration, on working together. And that fits us as Mastervolt very well. So we feel very, very welcome within the Brunswick family. Talking about the Brunswick family, I think Ton explained in the opening session a little bit about the ACES strategy from Brunswick. I want to elaborate a little bit more on that. So during the CES early this year in January, Brunswick presented a boat filled with the latest technology. And that technology is all based on the ACES strategy. So that is autonomy, that is connectivity, and that is shared access model, and that is electrification. You can see in the picture in front of you, on the top right-hand corner, you can see a very, very large Mastervolt logo. So we were extremely proud that Brunswick presented this boat at the CES, but we are even more excited about the fact that we were such a large part of the presentation. So what did we put in the boat in there? So we kicked out the generator, and we put in batteries, we put in inverter technology, and we really help to make it the boat of the future. And that is something that fits us very well. Brunswick is not intending to take this technology for themselves. So what they will do is they will help actually to accelerate the developments of these products. So in our case, it's mostly around the electrification. So what Brunswick will do, and that's also what Ton said this morning in his session, they will give us the tools and the means and the money and the people to accelerate that development of products. It is never the intention that Brunswick by itself will sell this product to somebody. It's always going via one of the business channels. A little insight on what ACES actually means. So it is autonomy, it is clear, but what does autonomy mean? So you can think about auto docking, so automatic docking of your boat. You can think about a drone following your boat while you're water skiing, and that automatically makes pictures of what you're doing. And you can sort of compare it a little bit with driver assist in your car or lane assist in your car. So making life on the water a lot easier. And that is what the autonomous part is doing. The connectivity part, we can explain it in a couple of ways. The most known way for autonomy of our connectivity is remote connectivity to your boat or to your RV or to whatever you have, to your system basically, helping you to see what's going on, making sure that your battery is full before you leave your home with a cold beer, but also helping your customers. So a platform that not only gives information to the end customer, but also gives information to the people maintaining the boat. So if your battery is something wrong with your battery system, if there's something wrong with your inverter charger system, the app and the connectivity part of it will help the installers maintaining those systems. As Ton explained this morning, we have chosen to be part of the Nautic-On platform, and that is our way forward. Electrification, it fits us as Mastervolt very well. I don't think we have to talk about it for a very long time, but we see a lot of opportunities in the electrification part. So you will see that later in the roadmap. That is more combis, that is more chargers, that is more battery power, larger and more. And that is a very large part of our roadmap. The last part of the ACES strategy is the shared access model. So with the shared access model, you actually don't pay for a boat, for example, but you can rent it. So Brunswick currently is working on a large network of rental companies that rent out boats, and then you pay per month or per year a little amount of money. You don't own the boat, but you can use that whenever you want, wherever you want. So that is the ACES part of it. You will hear a lot more about ACES the coming years probably, because a lot of what we do is part of this. EMEA market. So we have a program, a development program that fits the ACES strategy, but it also needs to fit the EMEA market. What we have been thinking about is when we became part of Brunswick, are we going in the direction of just marine, or are we also going to keep our customers happy in the mobile market? And Ton again explained it this morning. For sure, we're going to develop products and we're going to be active in both businesses. So I sometimes hear that from customers saying, hey, you're now part of Brunswick, so I can forget about the mobile market. That is absolutely not true. We have full focus also on the mobile market. Second part is simplification. So in the past, we focused on the high-end market a lot. So large systems, lower volumes, complicated systems, and that fits us very well. What we lately see is that going down in systems, and that is mostly connected to electrification, that also people with just a battery and a combi, they also want to have a nice system. So what we have been doing the last couple of years is trying to simplify the products as much as possible. So they will fit in the higher segment where you can make a very, very nice system with all the bells and whistles, but they also should work in a system where you just have a combi and a battery. You have to flick one switch and it should work. So no laptop, no difficult installation procedures. And that is something we have been working on. And you might have not seen that yet, but in a lot of our products, for example, the dip switch settings, they're all becoming standard. So we will see the same dip switch settings on all devices. Next part is the electrification. And I think I said that now 4 times in this presentation. Electrification is a very big part of what we do. Especially in the mobile business in EMEA, there are a ton of opportunities. So we make sure that our roadmap and our development plans fit with that electrification. Fourth part is increase of power. So 10 years ago, a system was very nice, and 2.5 kilowatt, 3 kilowatt was nice, and you didn't really need that. And what we see happening now with customers is that they actually want a 5 kilowatt system or larger, and they actually need that power. So it's not once a year they use it to run the airco. No, they use the system full time. So it is not only the fact that we are increasing the power, but it is also the fact that we're increasing the durability of a system. So in the past, again, you used it a couple of hours a year probably, or a couple of weeks a year, and we see that shifting to longer use and actually more use of those systems. Last part is the connectivity part again. So although we have chosen to become part of the Nautic-On platform, we still invest heavily in our connectivity. So a very good example is the connectivity to Z-Zone and to NMEA. We have chosen 3 years ago to become part of NMEA/C-Zone, and we are putting more and more products out in the market that have that capability of communication. And our intent is to put as many as possible devices on that C-Zone NMEA network. Three things that we are always overthinking is system thinking. So it is nice that we simplified stuff, and it is nice that power become bigger, but we always have to make sure that if we build a product, it fits in a system. The second part is share of wallet. So the more brands that enter ASG, the bigger our share of wallet. And we have to make sure that that all works nicely together. So with adding Edwood to the portfolio, for example, you will see that our share of wallet into a boat increases even more. The last part of this slide is actually legislation, CE and UL. In the last couple of years, we see a very big push that you don't get away anymore with self-certification. So in the past, for example, you could certify CE yourself and say, okay, it passes, it's fine, I don't need anything else. And what we are doing now is, in the market, you really need proof to say, okay, my products actually pass CE. So what we are doing with a lot of new products, if not all, we actually get them outside of Mastervolt and get them certified by a lab that tells, okay, safety of the device is okay, and the EMI emissions of the device is okay. And it is not mandatory, but we see the market is shifting in that way, and we have to comply to that. So far, my part of the presentation. Eric will take over now.
Thank you very much, Hans, and thank you for the introduction. The second part of the presentation is going to be about the roadmaps. So we're going to talk a little bit, or a small celebration, on the products we have released over the last year. The second part is going to show or highlight a number of developments which we are working on. And it's not all that we are working on, but it's the highlights. And the second part is a little bit of background on how do we think about the various product categories and what is on our mind. And after that, we transition to the sister brands. So the first time I saw this picture was many years ago, and it only showed Mastervolt and BEP back then. Over the years, the picture has grown with adding various brands as part of our transition throughout the companies. Last year, we presented ourselves as Power Products with already having 8 brands, and I think we are very happy that this year we can present ourselves as ASG with already 12 brands. And what you see step by step is that our product portfolio overall is growing, and step by step we find solutions or ways to help customers out where in the past we had no solution for. So a highlight of the product released since last year. Last year we talked a little bit, or we talked a lot about the bigger lithium-ion models, the 12-5500 and the 24-5500. And in the start of last year, we also finished that project off by releasing the last model, which is the 12-2750. And by now, they are also fully integrated with the C-Zone. As an additional small opportunity, we got a lot of questions about can we make it easier to connect a relay and a fuse to the lithium-ion battery. And as part of that small project, actually MLI Ultra Connect was born, and we released that a few months ago. For Charles Master Plus, we finished up the development of the 2480 and 2410 models, and they've been released and made available to the market also last year. And for the CombiMaster, it is quite a large project. Last year, we introduced the first 4 models, both for the EMEA market and for the US market. This year, we finished off the development of the 24-2000 for the EMEA market and the 12-1500 for the US market, and the development continues. And then in the central of it all is actually our integration with the C-Zone network. So making it easier for customers to connect our products to the same C-Zone backbone as the BEP and digital switching products, and step by step making it easier to make a complete system communicating using the C-Zone bus. So this year we introduced the Lithium-Ion Ultra as a single device, and after that we also introduced the clusters, so making larger battery systems using the C-Zone network. We also introduced the Master Shunt at 36 volts and added also the bootloader functionality to it, which allows customers to update the software of a Master Shunt in the same fashion as would work for all the C-Zone products. As part of the development of the CombiMasters, we also introduced C-Zone for the CombiMaster model. So from the start that the product enters the market, C-Zone has been made available, and we will continue that trend for any future models which we are adding to the portfolio. The same goes for the Charles Master Plus. So all Charles Master Plus, all CombiMasters, all lithium-ion batteries basically connect with C-Zone. And then one more small thing is the MasterBus USB interface is traditionally used for Master Adjust for the MasterBus side of connectivity, but now it can also be used in combination with the C-Zone config tool, and it allows you to use that tool to connect to the network. So then the highlights of our roadmap. To begin with the CombiMaster. Like I said, last year we introduced the first 4 models. This year we introduced 2 additional models. And we also talked about last year about a small support charger, which was originally part of the Mascombi product line, but is no longer part of the CombiMaster product line. And that is still on our roadmap and should become available throughout the year. In addition, we are currently working on the larger models for the CombiMaster. So here to my right, you can see the first complete prototype of that bigger model. And that is a 3500 watt to 5000 watt unit at 120 volt. And one of the larger changes is also these units can operate in parallel and in split phase, which basically allows you to build larger systems with more power available using the same base models. And we expect that after the development and release to the market in the US, we will make a spin-off model for these also for the EMEA market. So again, 3500 to 5000 watt and the ability to link them up in parallel to create more power on board your vehicle. For the Charles Master Plus, it's also quite a long project. So we started with the Charles Master Plus 2. Last year we introduced the Charles Master Plus 3, and now we're working on the Charles Master Plus 1. And again, a complete prototype, fully operational, available here, showing how far we are advanced in the development. So at the moment, we are working on those four models. So the 1235, 1250, the 2420, and the 2430 amp models. And that will be followed by the lower section of that range, which we have not touched yet, and is on a roadmap to pick up next. Obviously, we spend a lot of time also further developing our lithium-ion portfolio. Last year, we spoke about the 1250 models, and we also gave some teasers in the concept corner on how that product should approximately look like. But I'm very happy and I'm very proud to actually show you the real prototype of that 1250. And this is something that we're going to talk more about in the coming days. Next to that development, we also continuously keep track on how the cell development happens in the market. And again, we see another opportunity to increase the energy density of our batteries and stay on top of the development cycle of lithium batteries. So also coming year, we will re-release the MLI Ultra with increased energy density, so from a 2750 to 3000, and from a 5500 to a 6000 watt-hour version of the product. On the outside, everything stays the same. On the inside, many improvements are further made. Which also brings to the next topic of integrating the safety aspects of the battery inside. So something we have done now for the MLI 1250, and we're releasing that to the market coming year. That same functionality is now also scheduled to be entered into the bigger models. And then as being part of the Brunswick organization also gave us more opportunities to further expand our development capabilities. And also that gave us the opportunity to continue or actually start the development of a 48-volt portfolio in the range of 1,000 to 12,000 watt hours. And that is going to support the e-propulsion side of the business. Then for the Mastervolt C-Zone, we have said we are continuing to make it easier to connect with our products, and also make it more seamless to actually work together between digital switching and the Mastervolt products. So with RTM19, the firmware updates via C-Zone for the Chargemaster Plus and the CombiMaster become available, which again makes it easier that when you update the system, all the products, including the products from Mastervolt, can be updated in the same fashion. After that, we will work on the C-Zone integration of the Mac Plus, and also for the master shunt. The clustering for the master shunt. And then last is actually the move of the smart remote to also become fully C-Zone integrated, and the Alpha Pro, which also makes it easier to interface with alternators. Then a few more. So to begin with, we get a lot of questions for interfaces, and especially since we are seeing more and more opportunities for the CombiMaster, you can also imagine that the CombiMasters can be used both in the vessel, but also in the vehicle. And in the vehicle, you easily run into the RVC, so that means RV CAN. And that is also an opportunity that we cannot pass, so that's going to be an interface that we want to introduce coming year. And as well a CI bus interface, which is again, a CAN type interface, which made it easier for our products to connect to a wider variety of networks. Then we have the Mac Plus. So for the Mac Plus, we're going to introduce another model, which is the 2450 amp. It's actually starting off of a very interesting large project, which we ran into last year, but we're also going to make this product available to the wider audience. And in addition, the development will start for the Mac Plus 36 and 48 volt versions. And that means both ways. We see a lot of opportunities together with trolling motors, larger voltages on certain systems, to use the same functionality as the Mac Plus offered in the mobile market where we started, and bring that to a much wider application base. And an additional opportunity for us was create a battery combiner. So most of you are aware of our traditional battery isolator portfolio, but if you simply switch the diodes in the other direction, you can basically use multiple batteries, which together power a mission critical load. And that product will also become available coming year. That brings me to the end of the highlights of the product roadmap. We are now going to take a little bit deeper dive into the strategic direction of the various product groups. And to begin with, I need Hans for the first topics.
Thank you very much, Erik. Before we get started with a little bit more detail on what Erik just said, I just checked how many questions we got in. We only got 6 questions in so far. So we have decided if the questions are not going to be above 10 questions, we unfortunately have to give you less discount on your product. So guys, put more questions in. Let's get started. So a little bit on the development of our inverter charger combi portfolio. As Erik explained, our intention is to, all over the range, increase power levels to higher powers. And the product on my right-hand side is the first 5 kilowatt that Erik already explained a little bit about. So that's a truly 5 kilowatt model that can run in parallel, that can run in 3-phase, and that can run in split phase. We have paid extra attention to the connection compartment. So with such large powers, you need large DC connections and you need large AC connections. And this product is really ready for the future. The first models will be 120 volt, becoming ready halfway early next year. And after that, we will continuously move on to the 230 volt units for the EMEA and APAC region. The other thing we will be doing is looking at the small size of it. So not only going up in power, but also going down in power. And the smallest model we will be working on is probably around the 1 kilowatt range. We showed it as a teaser last year during METS to say, guys, this is what we can do. We got a lot of positive news about it, a lot of positive reactions. So we will probably in the next 2 years push that to the next level. 48 volt development. So with higher powers, we also see higher voltages. So most of our customers feel very comfortable up to 10 kilowatt to stay on 24 volt. But you see that above 10 kilowatt, it quite rapidly goes to 48 volt. So there's also going to be an increase in models on 48 volt, probably only on the higher end of the powers. So we don't really see a need to make a 2 kilowatt 48 volt because it's usually in the higher end powers. Keep working on a correct mix of features. So especially the Combi Master has positioned it quite differently than the Mascombi Ultra, and we have chosen to pay attention to certain aspects of it. So, for example, the right price ratio to the features is quite important. And we have chosen to cancel a couple of features. And some people like it a lot, and some people don't like it at all. And it is our task to make sure that in all the next models, we make sure that the balance between features and price is going to be correct. Interfacing, so what Erik said in his roadmap picture is the CEI interface, so the caravan interface for the European market, and the RV, also caravan interface for the American market. That is probably the first one on the roadmap in the next year to develop. We will start out as an external interface box, and depending on where this is going, it might actually go inside the unit, so that we'll talk this language natively. Keep it clean and keep it aligned. So we want to make sure that what we do is aligned and clean over the complete range. So we will try to have features in the Mascombi Ultra, and we try to have features in the Combi Master. And the intention is not to mix those features too much, because then positioning your product is going to be different. So we really see a different positioning for the Mascombi Ultra compared to the Combi Master. Last but not least, and this is something that will take a while, but it is definitely on our roadmap, that is the grid interaction. So, and this is mainly something that happens in Europe. A combi and a lithium-ion battery storing energy during day and delivering the energy back at night. That is something that is sort of unavoidable, and that's going to happen. We can already do that technology-wise, so we can do that, and it works. The thing is, if you deliver energy back to the grid, it needs to be certified. So for the next probably 24 months, we will try to get the unit certified and look into that on how we are actually going to do that. So far for the inverter charger portfolio. Then we move to the charger portfolio. We have two ranges there. So we have the MAS range, which is really, it's already been around for more than 17 years. It's very sturdy and very strong. And it is really for the high-end and duration class of our customers. So if you have an application that has to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you probably have to choose for a MAS charger. If you would have an application that runs a little bit less frequent, you probably choose for the ChargeMaster. What's going to happen there? So we're going to finalize the upgrade to the ChargeMaster 1, or the ChargeMaster Plus design. So we have the ChargeMaster 2 and the ChargeMaster 3 is already updated to the ChargeMaster Plus platform. And we're currently working on the ChargeMaster 1, and that's going to be released early next year. So it looks very small, it looks very nice, and it is actually very quiet. It has the connection compartment as you are used to, both for AC and DC, and it's just a very, very compact unit. As soon as we introduce this unit, it will work together with the smart remote. So the only interfacing on the unit, it's very simple LEDs, and that's it. Our way forward with displaying is that you take it off of the devices and you actually move that to products like the smart remote. And again, the simplification of the dip switches, that will be the same for all the products we put out in the market. So next one, the ChargeMaster S. So people that are familiar with the range know that below the ChargeMaster 1 there is a ChargeMaster S product. That had a midlife update about 2 years ago, so we have decided to leave it there for now. It does what it needs to do. It's a very nice product. It doesn't talk NMEA or CZone natively, but most of the customers actually are not interested that much in that. So for now, we leave it there. What we're going to be working on in the next 2 years is the replacement of the old Ivo Smart range. So that is the 1210. 24/6 and 1215 battery charger. Again, the design is over 15 years old. We have upgraded it a couple of times, but it is now time to look at a new portfolio for that. So that will be done in the next 2 years. Again, as I mentioned in the previous slides, there's a very big push for CE and UL. So all the new ChargeMasters coming out, they are fully certified to CE and UL. And we have the full paperwork to actually prove that. So CE is not self-certifying. It is actually, but we have chosen to get everything certified via an external lab, and all that is available. 48 volt and higher power and higher voltages. So we are internally still debating, should we do this on the mesh range or should we do this on the ChargeMaster range? A lot of our customers have given us feedback, well, perhaps getting a 48 volt high power ChargeMaster is something that will be nice in the market, and especially together with the new lithium ions coming up. Last but not least is higher IP ratings. So especially on the smaller models, so the 1250 and below, we currently don't have IP65 solutions for that. Our brothers and sisters in America, they do. So ProMariner does offer something in that range. So probably in the next 2 years, we will look together, how can we make such a product available for the European market? MAS chargers. So I've been with the company for 21 years. I think the MAS chargers have been around for 21 years. I think we are at our third upgrade. So we have been upgrading the charger over time from good to better to best. And it is really the workhorse of the 24-volt portfolio. If the MAS cannot handle it, that's almost impossible. It can handle almost every situation. We have chosen to standardize to DNV-GL. So in the past, we had a couple of more type approvals on the unit. That is slowly going away, and it is all becoming DNV-GL now. In the world of type approval, it's actually allowed to sell a DNV charger in an example in a Lloyd's application, but you have to put some effort in it, and that's why we have chosen to go the DNV route. We also see that we are having a gap to competition. So competition has DNV chargers and they have non-DNV chargers, and on itself that is fine, but that gap is also in price available, noticeable. So we are investigating, should we position a line next to the MAS chargers that doesn't have DNV and that we can make a little bit cheaper, so we can kick out stuff you specifically need for DNV. And that's something that's on the drawing board, and we are thinking about that. That goes together with a general upgrade. So the last upgrade we did was implement Masterbus, and that is more than 5 years ago now. Now we are around the corner is NMEA/C-Zone, so probably a general upgrade we're going to do pretty soon, making it also talk native NMEA/C-Zone. Second last bullet is more power, higher voltages. The mesh range actually lends itself pretty well to upgrade the power to, for example, 7 kilowatts, 200 amps, or 48 volt or even higher voltages. So the platform is quite flexible, and depending on what our customers like, do it either in ChargeMaster or do it in MAS, we will probably see higher powers and higher voltages coming out in the next 2 years. Last but not least, the one thing that sets the mesh range apart from the ChargeMaster range, and that's one specific point, is auto ranging. So you can use the ChargeMasters all over the world because the input doesn't care whether it is 120 volt or 230 volt. The mesh does. So we now currently have separate models for 120 volt and for 230 volt. And what's going to be probably part of that general thinking is, should we also make that auto ranging? And again, that will be connected very strongly to what DNV will advise us on the future of our chargers. Mr. Zwollo.
Thank you, Hans. So for the next topic, we're going to we're going to talk about lithium-ion batteries. And Hans was so kind to send the first out of tool of the new model to me. And these are the real plastics which we're also going to use for the manufacturing of the new model. So Hans, thank you for that. When we talk about lithium-ion, obviously I can basically talk all day about lithium-ion, and I really like this product a lot. But there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. So like we explained, you have seen on the roadmap session that we are currently having 3 lithium-ion projects in parallel. And one of the key aspects for us was the next step into expanding the range. So we started originally with the 3 base models. We have improved the 3 base models. This year we're going to introduce these models to the range, which also add another 2 models. Then we're going to update the baseline of the range, and then we're also going to get access to the 48 volt portfolio, which we are also developing in parallel. And towards the future, we expect that more models will be added, because lithium-ion is a very big thing for us and for all of us in the coming years, and that means it will get a lot of attention. One of the key questions I'm always getting asked is, where is energy density going, and are you keeping up with the trend in the market? And I think that the track record has shown that step by step we have kept track or even ahead of the market by introducing new models with very good energy density, and we will continue to follow that trend as it becomes available. In addition, we have traditionally used iron phosphate for our batteries because it is by far the safest chemistry. But we also see that at some point, if you have to go even smaller or basically need more energy density, then there are alternative chemistries out there which basically give you that, but quite often at the expense of the safety component. And that is something for us we keep really in mind. And also moving forward, we do expect that at some point we will provide newer chemistries also in our products, but yeah, step by step. And then another topic we often get questions about is relay technology versus MOSFET technology. And what you traditionally see in the market is that a MOSFET switch is easier for an application point of view. But most MOSFETs solutions actually come with a trade-off that they cannot easily be placed in series for higher voltage applications. And also the actual current which it can handle is a lot lower than a traditional relay solution. And the perfect solution would be to get the benefits of the relay, so the high current and the high voltage rating on top of your MOSFET switch, but that combination is really hard to find in the market. We have traditionally started with the relay solution, and towards the future, we expect that also to come with our own MOSFET solution, which actually will be a much bigger step forward in terms of current drawing capabilities, and that brings you the best of both worlds. Another topic which is really hot is the certification side. In Europe, we get more questions about IEC 62619 and the sisters. In the US, we get a lot of questions about UL 2054 and 1973. And also, over the last years, we have talked about DNV certification. We are really forming a path in that certification line, and we see the need that we actually have to get the certifications moving forward. There are multiple plans as part of the current developments to also transition these certifications on these models, but the coming year we'll have to make that happen. Next to lithium-ion, we also spend a lot of time on the rest of our portfolio. And some of the highlights for this year was basically we have improved the generator input behavior for the Mastcombi Ultra. So we got some feedback. Some of the generators' behavior was still not working according to expectations. We made changes to the firmware, and now even more generators can easily run with the Mastcombi Ultra together. Another piece of feedback was about the solar charger inside the Mastcombi Ultra. It did not always perform up to the expectation level. And then we've took that to heart, and also last year started the development of a new solar charger solution, which will become available in the standard Mastcombi Ultra models starting January 21. In addition, also for the smart remote, we started together with the CombiMaster to release the product, and together as a package deal, CombiMaster and smart remote, that worked flawlessly. But immediately after the release, the feedback was quite clear. When can we see more support for other products from the portfolio? And currently we are running the field test for the lithium-ion batteries on the smart remote, and that will soon become available. And also early next year, we expect that the Childmaster Plus support for the smart remote will be added. And on top of that, we have made many other smaller changes, but these are the highlights. So that brings me to the end of the Mastervolt side of the roadmap and the field of vision. We're now going to move over to the US, where my colleague Matt Elsner will bring you to the various brands of Ancor, Blue Sea Systems, Marinko, and ProMariner. Take it away, Matt.
Hi everyone, I'm Matt Elsner, Director of Product Management in the US. I will be spending a few minutes discussing some recent and future launches in the Ancor, Blue Sea Systems, Marinko, and ProMariner brands. We will have a separate session later in the week that covers recent product launches as well as products launching by Q1 of 2021 in these brands. Because of this, I will highlight only the largest launches in each brand to discuss briefly, and then I will also discuss future product launches in 2021 and beyond. Those will not be covered in the session, so I'll spend a little more time on those. Starting with product launches since METS 2019, our primary Ancor focus was the multimeters and snap-around meters. These are fantastic meters that are a great addition to any mobile worker's toolbox, as they are professional grade and extremely flexible in their applications. For Blue Sea Systems, the primary focus was the 20 amp battery link battery charger, which is a fully waterproof battery charger with an integrated ACR for vehicles with an alternator up to 170 amps. The Marinko hybrid wiper blades are a much higher quality polymer wiper blade option that includes a steel frame for that added durability we've been looking for. The ProMariner ProSport HD is the next generation of waterproof battery chargers with innovative new charging and monitoring features. The next set of products will be launching by the end of Q1 2021. The primary Ancor focus are the new insulated hand tools, which are rated up to 1000 volts for safety purposes. The Blue Sea Systems ST Blade water-resistant fuse block family will be rolling out over the next few months and will provide additional flexibility in installations of fuse blocks based on water resistance. The Marinko surge protection pigtails will provide surge protection to the marine industry for the first time from a leading manufacturer. And finally, the ProMariner ProTech 1 is a great industrial charger that can be used in a variety of applications. When we look to the future, you will see that we have development in nearly every category in all of our product brands. While these roadmaps are quite full and likely difficult to interpret quickly, I wanted to highlight 3 upcoming projects from each brand to provide additional detail about. In Ancor, we are working on an LED bulb project that contains replacement LED bulbs for common marine applications. Up until this point, we have only offered incandescent bulbs, so this will be a big step forward for us. We're very excited about this product line. We're also working on a battery tester that will provide a readout of battery health in a compact, easy-to-use footprint. This has been something we get asked for quite frequently, and we have not had a solution for. Lastly, we will continue to expand our NEMA 2000 product line by adding an 8-way T-connector, expanding our current cable lengths, and potentially adding a new starter kit based on the feedback that we receive. This product line has been extremely successful for us, and we're happy to launch more products. In Blue Sea Systems, we are working on a DC to DC converter for lithium-ion batteries that will be weatherproof and IP rated for lithium-ion or multi-chemistry battery systems. We also have an advanced relay family of products consisting of a 300 amp plus relay platform with ACR and CAN control options for the global marine and mobile markets. Lastly, an advanced USB charger is in development that is a USB-C and USB-A dual charger with a combined power function when using only the USB-C receptacle. This product will be a ground-up development with many innovative features that we can't wait to reveal at a later time. In Marinko, we are near completion on a new inlet design that will provide a refresh for both the plastic and stainless steel inlets we currently offer. Next up is a line of overcurrent protected adapters that are primarily designed to meet new CSA requirements in Canada. These will add integrated circuit breakers to adapters when reducing down amperage by more than a factor of 1.5. This is a really neat concept that we can apply in many future developments. Lastly, we are still developing an LED precision spotlight, now in partnership with Atwood, which uses their LED technology and our existing motor assembly and housing technology. The first major project from ProMariner is the new Pro Tournament Elite, which includes a new 5-bank output charger and C-Zone connectivity on select models. This will be our first waterproof battery charger with C-Zone connectivity and also our first 5-bank charger. The new ProNautic P is a waterproof hardwired battery charger design that will allow for many new applications and installs. Lastly, the ProSport HDP, or HD Portable, is a fully waterproof dockside portable charging assortment that ranges from 5 amps to 25 amps. This charging platform will support global power for worldwide distribution. For the products that have launched or will recently launch, please reach out to your sales manager or consult the catalog or websites for more information. For all roadmap projects, please reach out to the product management team and we can collect feedback or provide information for you on the development and features of these upcoming products. Thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot, Matt, for that very thorough explanation of the roadmap. I think it makes a lot of things very clear. So in addition to the 4 brands you just heard, there are 3 additional brands, so BEP, C-Zone and Lenco. And we have moved the field of vision parts into the actual sessions themselves, which are happening in the coming week. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Eric. We heard a lot of new and interesting things about our product portfolio. But tell us, how was it to present in front of a camera without the usual audience?
It is a very interesting experience, but I have to be honest, I really miss the interaction with the crowd in the room. So I really hope next year that we are back together with 300 people here in Amsterdam.
I can imagine, and I can't agree with you more. During your presentation, a lot of questions came in, and perhaps you want me to answer them?
Oh, no. I think that's a very bad idea. Luckily, we have our best experts to join us, and we welcome Hans.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello, Hans. I believe you made a selection of all the incoming questions.
Yeah, I think it helped that we pushed a little bit. So we got around 20, 25 questions in. A lot of questions are actually the same. So we selected 14 and a half questions to be answered.
Okay.
Maybe your question won't be answered today. At the end of the day, we publish all questions and answers at the Mastervolt portal.
Okay, Hans, let's start with the first question.
So the first question is actually, what is the color of my underpants? Well, I know this came from somebody in Denmark, so I can tell you it started out being green, but it is a little bit brownish now. So, second question, is ASUS taking away attention from our core products? Eric, you willing to take that, or?
Feel free.
So we are actually quite free to do what we want with ASUS, and we have decided for ourselves that ASUS does not take away the attention of the core products we're developing. As explained before, we have full focus on electrification, and that fits very nice in our portfolio. Third question, with more brands, how will you handle positioning and overlap? Eric, I think that's a question you can answer.
We expect that with more brands being added and also more products coming to the market, we will see at some point there will definitely be overlap between the brands. And something for us is that we think that towards the future, the brand identity will change a little bit. And where we are right now offering a very wide portfolio, for instance, under the brand Mastervolt, you can imagine, for instance, that fuses or a typical product like that can also fit very well under a different brand. And that should also help make it easier for customers towards the future, that certain brands carry certain product categories and other brands typically have other product categories. And that should make it also easier when you're looking or searching for a type of product that you can find it.
All right, thank you, Eric. So we had a question on, we talked a lot about Masterbus, about CZone, about NMEA. And the question is Masterbus being killed? Is that going to disappear?
I think it's a twofold answer. So we have made very clear that we are invested to getting CZone available in all our products. And that is a trend that we will continue because we really believe in that in the end it makes it much easier for everyone to have a single bus system called CZone and it operates with all the products which are connectable. The second part is also up to the customer to decide when do you all start transitioning towards CZone. And when we actually see that move happening much more frequent than the Masterbus side, that will also help us to determine when do we actually stop the investment in the Masterbus side and actually spend more time, even more time, on making CZone a better solution.
So a large part of our customers is still using Masterbus. So what Erik is saying, probably not very, very soon. How is Mastervolt as a brand keeping focus? Shall I do that?
Yeah.
So how is Mastervolt as a brand keeping focus? So that actually is a very good question. All questions are very good, but this is a specific, extremely good question. So what we see happening, that Mastervolt is focusing more and more on its core activities. So if you look at the Mastervolt portfolio, it is very wide and very large. And you will see slowly products being transitioned to other brands. I think Erik also explained that in his roadmap story, that some products might not fit that perfectly with Mastervolt, and perhaps they are better off with other parts of the family. For example, Shore Power, we now have a Mastervolt Shore Power line. It is quite thinkable that in the near future that it's going to be replaced with a Marinko European Shore Power line. So we try to keep focus on what we are actually good at, and that is again, and we talked about a lot today, that is the electrification of systems. Is Mastervolt going away as a brand, Erik? Is that being replaced by ASG or anything else?
Mastervolt, I think, again, a twofold answer. So there's Mastervolt, the company, and I think Ton in detail explained what is going to happen with Mastervolt, the company, as a name. For Mastervolt, the brand, we are still a very proud family with a very healthy product portfolio. We are very much invested in bringing you the best products available to the market. And no, Mastervolt, the brand, is, if it's up to me, never going away.
All right. I think exactly the same, so that's very positive. I think the number one question, or the question we got actually most, we combined it in one. I do not see anything about solar chargers separate or integrated in the CombiMaster. What are your plans with MPPT solar chargers?
It's a tough question because I think from our perspective, we are a little bit in a luxury position that we have so many opportunities to pick from. We cannot have them all, and that means that we have to focus. Just like Hans just touched on the focus part, we only have the resources to spend one time. Unfortunately, that currently means that we are not focusing on the solar charger solutions, but we definitely see the market potential, we definitely see the questions, and if there is any opportunity in the near future that we actually can do something here, we definitely will. So please keep poking us and giving us that feedback, because it only helps us to focus on the right things.
All right. It is very nice to see the Anchor and Marinko portfolio grow, but is there eye of sight on a metric program for Europe?
I think this is a recurring topic from Mets over Mets. We are still working together with product management also in the US to support us in this endeavor. We actually hoped that this year we would be able to give something specific and give good news, but I have to be honest, not right now. It's definitely something on our roadmap, and it's definitely something that we really want to improve the foothold in the EMEA market.
All right. Ninth question. So are all the new ProMariner chargers that are going to happen in the next couple of years, are they auto-ranging and are they available in the EMEA market? Shall I take that? You want to take it? All right. So all the chargers that are going to be are available from ProMariner, they're not all going to be auto-ranging. So we choose for a specific range that only sits in America, and that is probably the range that is extremely price sensitive. For all the probably higher power chargers, they will be auto-ranging and they will also be coming to Europe. Footprint, Eric. Next question. So they are asking, what is the lithium-ion 1250 footprint? And I don't think they mean that footprint, but I think they mean the size of your battery.
Oh, the lithium-ion 1250 fits both in group 31, and for group 31 it completely fits, so also the height requirement. In terms of footprint, it does fit the footprint of group 49, which is the standard European lead-acid battery footprint.
All right. Next question. Is the new Combi Master, is that one in and one out? And what this customer actually means is on the Mascombi Ultra, we have an input for the shore and we have an input for the generator. With the Combi Masters, we have one input and one output. So the answer is yes, we only gonna have one input and one output. Next one. When is the Mac Monster and the Mac Mini coming out, Eric? We all know that this is your love child. Can you say something about that?
I hope soon, but in honesty, we are currently working on the next two models of the Mac Plus range, and that is the extension to the range in 36 and 48 volt, and that is the 24, 50 amps models. And after that, the line will be further extended. So I think somewhere in 2022, and that will be next year's METS, we need to have a story by then.
All right. Next question. The second last question. The question is, are we going to make 40 volt combis larger than 5 kilowatts? So we now introduced a 5 kilowatt 48 volt combi coming around the corner in the next 2 years. The question is, are we going to see larger combis than 5 kilowatt on 48 volt?
Feel free.
So far, we have nothing on the program above the 5 kilowatt range. But as I said in the slides in the beginning of the presentation, we see an increased demand for higher power. So after we finished the larger 5 kilowatt range, we will probably start thinking, guys, what is next? And if that is larger power, we will see.
And it also depends on the next generation comes with the ability to fully parallel. So you already have the ability to get more power. And then it boils down to, does it make sense to create separate models versus already building multiple models?
Yep. Last question. It's a very simple one. Is the Combi Master going to replace the Mascombi Ultra? Shall I take that one?
Yes.
Okay. In my mind, and that is something that is, you can imagine that is something that is always debated, depending on the success of the Combi Master, the answer is no. So we will use the Mascombi Ultra platform to extend the capabilities. So I talked a little bit about grid connectivity. We can probably do that. We can already do that with the Mascombi Ultra range. We cannot do that with the Combi Master platform. So both platforms will stay in existence. And I got a last question which not came in, that's not on the slide, so I will only read it. The smart remote and master shunt, is that going to be available when?
The smart remote with master shunt is actually part of the same firmware package which also implements the lithium-ion battery. And that is currently being tested, and I think somewhere in end of November, December, that should become available in the market.
Okay. Thank you very much. Those were the questions.
Well, thank you, guys. And now, last but not least,
This is Brain Trainer. How much money did we raise for the KNRM? We received various answers, and one of them was £24,000.
wow, that
Yes.
is a bit out of our league.
Yeah, but also €500, €1,500, but only one was correct. Marianne, can you tell us who the winner is?
Yes, I can, but I will do that right after the break. Well, Diane, I'm sure you know the answer. How much money did we raise?
Well, Marianne, despite the high expectation, that wasn't bad at all. We raised €4,268.25.
And only one was the closest.
Congratulations and well done. You won a digital Met Connect Me surprise. Check your inbox and thank you for participating.
Also this year we are participating in this great event. And we will try to raise as much money as possible for the KNRM. The big day is November 27th, and we would be grateful if you can help us by funding these brave rescuers. Please check our team page for details and keep an eye on our social media channels.
Tomorrow at 11 o'clock, we'll be back with our third online session, Get to Know Mastervolt.
Unique buying reasons. What sets our products apart from the competition? Connect with the top 10 products. New service and logistics. System solutions and integrators. The sales team will discuss these topics and surprise you with a happy end.
Okay, that's interesting. If you want to know more, we'll see you tomorrow. For now, we thank you for connecting and interacting with us. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned with Met Connect Me.